reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon with Doghouse Systems. Custom-built PCs delivered to your door with amazing quality, great options, and outstanding service. When you want a desktop or a laptop that will be the envy of your guild, kinship, or corporation, then our friends at Doghouse Systems are where you want to go. If you're looking for a new PC, then check out doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMOReporter to double your RAM.
Hello and welcome to ESO Reporter Podcast, Greenland's #1 transatlantic source of information on the Elder Scrolls Online. I've missed you. I've missed you all.
We're back!
We are back! And July 2nd? So it's been about...
Who are you? About 8 weeks.
Apologies to our wonderfully patient and loyal listeners. If there are one,
two of our listeners.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a hiatus, and we're now back and ready to roll. So strap yourselves in and get ready for an hour of pure ESO wonderment. And with me today, as always, it can never change, is the chap of Synapse. Teppo!
Yay!
Yay!
I've got a synapse left. Just the one.
It's been a while, sir.
It certainly has.
How's it doing, Mr. T?
How's it doing? How's what doing?
Hey.
It's doing fine.
How you doing? Since we're talking about Jennifer Aniston, how you doing?
We were not talking about Jennifer Aniston.
We were before.
You know, it just for the listener's sake here, so that you feel like, you know, you're not left out. This is the first time I've talked to Teppo and Jen in about the same amount of time as it's been to the listeners. So you'll be able to catch up with us, you know, as we go through our catching up with each other at the same time. So, Tep, you've been a busy boy?
Well, you know, work and things and gaming.
Walking 15
stuff.
miles?
Yeah, I did that thing. That was the thing.
I saw it.
That was 15 miles up and down hills in lovely Exmoor National Park in Devon, in England.
England,
UK. Yeah,
England.
It's all good fun.
Yeah,
a couple of friends from work.
Did you fall down?
I was the first casualty. I went out to my knee on just one leg in a bog within like an hour of us starting. So yeah, that was fun.
A smelly bog.
No, it wasn't too bad. It's been glorious weather here in the UK for the most part. I hate sex. I know quite a lot of places haven't been doing too well with the weather, but it's been really nice weather. So most of the bogs and the moors had dried out quite a bit, so it wasn't too bad.
No, it has been incredibly humid, really humid, like horribly humid.
Yeah, down where you
where
are.
I am in the south, the southeast.
We're in the south. We're in the southwest, but in the real places,
yes.
you know,
well,
it's been fun.
I thought I was like where the real English people live.
No.
Okay.
Something about a grass wall?
Oh, yeah. No? Hills should be outlawed.
Hills.
Or flattened.
So after doing 13 miles...
Did you see any of those gravity-defying sheep?
Gravity-defying sheep?
Yes. Ones that kind of sit on the side of hills, the really steep hills.
I think they're called goats.
No, there's some
You got to
sheep.
get out of your video games, Jen. That's Lotro, and there's problem with traffic. So
I remember gravity-defying war elephants in Age of Conan. That was always fun. trying to park my war elephant in such a way that it just shouldn't be physically possible for it to be standing on that rock upside down.
So I want to go back. After 13 miles, I missed the rest of the story.
Yeah, so after 13 hours before Jen rudely interrupted.
That's what I'm here to do, rudely interrupt you.
It's my fault. I didn't train her well enough.
Oh, wow.
So after 13 miles in something like 22 degrees, it's been blazingly good weather all day, up and down all the way. It's the moors. It's Exmoor, and there's this blinking. We just crossed the River Ex, no less. There's a blinkingly, stupidly steep hill.
It is actually called the River Ex, by the way.
It is called the River Ex, EXE.
I just
It's
thought I'd let
the
people know.
executable river.
Is there
And
a South X too?
no,
Okay, because they're abbreviation.
don't think so.
Okay.
Just X.
Okay.
That's what gives X to its name.
Okay.
And there's this wall. There's this wall of grass, which they laughingly call a hill. There's only like 2 miles to the finish line, where there's like a barbecue and stuff. You had to shuffle up this stupid thing. It was almost vertical. It's horrible.
But all you can think is barbecue.
I couldn't think. I just the highest number I could count to was 5. 5 steps at a time.
Did the
2
shoes make it?
reps. The 5 sets.
Did the shoes make it?
Oh yeah, fine. I actually had the relatively new boots on.
Ah, good.
Wearing them in, but especially for the occasion. But we only did the half distance. The whole thing. It's called the Exmoor Perambulation. It's like 30 something miles.
Nice.
And I think we're planning as a group of us to do the full thing next year.
Woo.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good laugh for a techie who usually sits at his desk all day.
You know, it's interesting because I'm fairly active myself, and I'm going to make a call out to someone who probably doesn't even know we exist, but Teppo knows him for sure. Jeff Kanata. He has this from Weekend Confirmed. We used to be Weekend Confirmed. He has this kind of group called Geeks with Sneaks, gamers who are also active, and so it's always awesome to get out there and do stuff like that. So congratulations.
Yeah, well, gamers are people too.
No, really?
So Jen, let's talk about those sheep. Oh, by the
You're
way,
gonna talk about me.
Hold
You're
on.
gonna talk about me now.
The ever effervescent.
I love that.
Oh, good stuff.
It sounds so bad.
It does sound pretty bad. We really need to change that.
No, we do not. I love it. Okay, Jen, it's so great to hear your voice.
I think erudite, sexy, and wonderful.
That's too many words.
That's way too many. Effervescent. So anyway, those sheep, how are they?
Sparkly. Yeah, they're good.
Good. No, how have you been?
Meh.
How have you
Sheep
been?
are good. I've been all right, thank you. I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. Yay!
Happy birthday. Is that
Thank
25,
you.
26?
It is. It's actually 29, but almost 30.
Yeah, wow. How do you
Wow.
make it around?
You're old.
I am. How do I make it around? Normally on rollerblades. No.
Good plan.
No, it's very difficult to rollerblade in England because the pavements are really crap.
Oh my God, are they?
Oh my God, they're awful. And
So you
streets
can
are
do it. You're just face planting at least 3 or 4 times every time.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
I actually filled out, in a total aside, the local council here did a thing about, they're all about promoting like greener ways to live, like walking to work or car sharing or cycling. And I filled out one of their surveys recently and said, is there anything else you'd like to add that might help improve? Just one thing. And I said, yeah, repair the bloody
Please
pavements.
repair the pavements. I mean, I trip like about 3 times a day walking from point A to point B because our pavements are seriously like.
That's because she starts drinking at 7 in the
Well,
morning.
that's what it is as well. I always have
So it's bloody
Hey.
sheep.
my paper bag with me with my alcohol in it. Yeah, 'cause I'm
Interesting.
bum.
But have you been gaming much or doing anything else?
Well, we've been gaming with. Well, I say we because myself, Minion, have been gaming with Teppo.
Yeah.
We keep up once a week.
Well, we did.
Well, we do, and we will, and we have. Obviously, we've had to change it because he went on that hike, so we were without a playmate. So we've been doing ESO primarily.
Okay.
And we've been getting up. We're now 43rd level after 2 months or 3 months or whatever. 3 months.
Any other RPGing or board gaming or anything? I think you do.
I've been doing board gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been recently playing Orcs Must Die, which is really fun.
So isn't Orcs Must Die an old game? I mean, from what I...
Orcs Must Die 2, it is the one.
Oh, okay.
It's
good.
fun. It's a fun
Yeah.
game. How about you, Mr. I was going to call you Mr. T, but Mr. S. What's going on?
The Svenster? Or
on, Mr.
Svenpocalypse? Svenpocalypse.
Spenocalypse.
I have been on a walkabout. No, I just...
I feel like we should play a didgeridoo.
Right. So it started, and I'm going to blame Bill Watterson, because it started with me picking up. I have a compendium of cartoons. They were Sunday or week daily cartoons called Calvin and Hobbes. Here.
Oh, I love Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so I picked it up. This is just, a couple, whenever we last got together, 8 weeks ago, 7, and I picked it up and I started reading, and I just got immersed, and it kind of, I don't want to get too, but I started doing more stuff outside and with the kids and everything else. I had kind of gotten a little bit too, we live in, the Arctic here, close to it, and it finally got nice out, and I just started, getting addicted to being outside, and I have a lovely garden, and everything else, and running and all that. And anyway, and my daughter, for those who don't know, I've got my oldest who's engaged in making wedding plans, and so
And Sven is like only 30.
31 now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 31. Yeah.
Yeah, she was really young when. Anyway,
That's opening a whole different bag.
so just and I apologize that we this has kind of been the casualty of everything. But yeah, it was very good for me just to do something else and get out and re-experience. So anyway, that's been my, otherwise no gaming. Turned on my computer, I think once, maybe twice, and then lightning struck, literally. And I have been, with exception of the computer that we're talking to, with you guys now, been without internet, Ethernet, sorry, throughout the whole house. We have wireless still, but
Well, your weather's been absolutely poo, hasn't it? I mean, with storm-wise.
Right, if you like torrential rain, it's been wonderful. But if that is not something that is, if you're a duck, it's great.
Lovely word for adrenaline-seeking ducks, I was going to say.
Yeah, those ducks that like to fly into the wind.
Like to be shocked from the sky.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and having to mow your yard every 2 or 3 days is not the most enjoyable activity. But it's just been, rain after rain today. We already had a little bit too, and I feel like I moved over to your country for a while. So,
gosh, don't.
Yeah, our high was 67 Fahrenheit, which our normal highs are around 85 Fahrenheit. So very chilly, strange, cool, rainy weather. So anyway, no big deal though, right? I mean, that's just a small thing. We still have a house; it hasn't floated away, and
that's good.
No dual tornadoes around us.
Yeah, what was that dual tornado? It was Kansas.
I think it was Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Oh gosh, so it's not too far from you though.
One state to the west.
Over, yeah.
Yeah, probably only
Nebraska.
A few hours.
Where Penny's from.
Penny. Oh yes, Penny is from Nebraska. Penny. I didn't know that. Do you know that they've never shared her last name?
I was aware, yeah. Oh, yeah, because you don't know her last name, do you?
Everyone else, you know their last name.
That's true. Yeah, well, because they're doctors, aren't they? Penny's not a doctor, so,
What show are we talking about again?
Oh, what's it called again? Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory.
I hate that show with a
I think it's
passion
funny.
of
Is it because it's so fake in terms of what, or is it just?
No, it's not fake like that. I know people like that. I mean,
Oh,
half
no.
my friends.
No. It is quite fake.
Yes.
And but it's just not that funny.
I
Sometimes.
think it's funny.
There are times. It has moments.
Yeah, most of it is just like, hey, let's that's a geek thing to laugh about.
Right.
And easy shots. And occasionally they come out with something that is genuinely funny. I think that's usually some of the more subtle stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But it's just most of the show, 27 minutes of the show is just, look, they're geeks, aren't they adorable?
Oh, I know. But geeks, we are adorable, though. We are so adorable.
Truthfully, a good series in the States if it only lasts 2 or 3 years. Soon as a series gets 4, 5, 6, 7 years old,
Gets a bit stale.
No, it just was crap in the beginning, but because
True, Friends was awful.
Yeah, for the most part, For the most part,
I'll be
we
there
like
for you.
we like very simple. I know I'm making a broad
simple
generalization.
comedy. No, it's true.
Yes. I mean, think of those shows that have lasted a long time. Most of them are not that really clever or creative or anything else.
But they have the
Frasier,
wholesome
she
American
is.
family and the sassy girl that lives next door. And that really good-looking guy that's a bit stupid.
Yep.
True, isn't it?
There's those series that I've loved that I just get really into are the ones they cancel because there's not enough people to watch.
Yeah, it's sad.
But anyway, ESO.
So we're going to talk about ESO, don't we?
Yes, we do. Dang it.
Gosh, darn it.
I am just going to kind of have to, flow along with things here because I don't know. Flow along? I'm going to have to go along with things because I don't know much about what's been
Too much water on the brain.
I heard Teppo slightly giggling when I said that, so I had to. So anyway, I'm going to have to just, let you guys guide me with this because I really haven't spent much time. So starting off, let us take a break, and then we'll hit maybe the patch updates.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back. We have a couple patch updates that we'll talk about. I'm sure there's been about, 8 since we last spoke, but
It's been a few.
There's been a couple, and unfortunately we've missed most of them.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to touch on the latest ones?
Well,
Was the massive one was the 123 patch?
Okay.
yeah, that was a good patch, actually. The biggest thing about that patch was the improved interior lighting, which is beautiful.
You say it's the biggest thing.
What do you think?
I think personally, I think that's probably the thing that's had the most effect. But then I'm not doing veteran dungeons and things like that because they had a veteran Crypt of Hearts dungeon in there, which might be the biggest thing some people.
Yeah, true.
And picking up armor and weapons in the world,
Which is fun.
huge. That's a very Elder Scrollsy thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see like these weapon racks or boots on the floor. You can pick them up now.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, obviously you can't do much with them. You can break them down and stuff.
Yeah,
but
because they're probably just white or whatever.
Yeah,
general,
but
right?
you can upgrade them, so you can improve them craft-wise.
Of course, sure.
Yeah,
You can upgrade them. You can sell them, but they sell for $0. They're very low quality, so if you are going to use them, upgrade them.
They're mats.
And
They're basically just mats.
they can be deconstructed, but they have a very low inspiration and don't usually yield resources.
Okay.
But and something else as well. They finally have realized that not every mage wants to wear a robe, so they brought in light jerkins. Light jerkins.
I just like the freedom of wearing a skirt. I mean, robe.
I know you. I know you like the freedom of wearing a skirt. It makes you feel all like free.
Aerated.
So I'm sorry to take a step back, but on these, I'm intrigued by this, being able to pick up weapons and stuff. Have they put any little, every now and then, can you pick one up and it's actually green or purple or anything, or is it all just white?
As far as we can tell so far, they're just white.
Okay.
I think they are
back
just
to the
white,
jerkins.
Yeah. The jerkins.
I like jerky.
Me too.
I do
I haven't had
too.
jerky in ages, actually.
Why?
I was gonna pick some up for my hike, but I forgot. I ended up eating a Nutrigrain bar every hour.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I'm totally ruining the flow here. Can I tell you when you're hiking for a couple of hours out in the sunlight and you're really huffing it and whatever, Jelly Babies or Haribo or any kind of sweet tastes 20 times better than normal.
I bet.
So
I had
true.
some when I got home afterwards. Didn't taste nearly as good.
It's so true. You know what else tastes brilliant when you've been walking for a long time in the hot sun?
Freedom.
Is
Pizza?
a cool iced latte. Oh man. Anyway.
Where the are you going to get that when you're out hiking? Iced latte.
I'd like a latte, please.
I have my servants following me around. My barista servants who I pull out of my pocket on occasion, and they make me an iced latte.
Like suddenly you clear a hill and then there's this little Starbucks staffed entirely by sentient sheep.
It'd be great. Those gravity-defying sheep, yeah. But yes,
You run out of cream, but you can have some wool on top of your mocha.
they make very good mochas. So shush.
Oh,
Don't you're being
okay,
really
1.2
unfair.
points. I like 1-3, by the way. That's a clever little patch.
Jerkins.
Yes.
Jerkins are good. You don't need a special ability.
Like patches on our jerkins. That's all we need.
You don't need a special ability to craft them. You craft them the same way you craft robes. So and they actually fill that same gap. So if you find say robes and you want to break them down or research them, you can research a light jerkin instead. So they work off the same basis and the same principles as a normal robe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing special, but it's good because now, and they've got loads of different good-looking ones as well. Higher level.
123 also brought in a massive number of other changes. Yeah, which we're not going to go to because it's quite but basically, they seem to have done a bit of a balance, or at least a pass over all the classes and most of the skill lines. I have noticed, I'm not sure if they fixed it in the hotfix, but I think after 1, 2, 3, there is still a problem with Silver Bolt's fighter skill ability proccing 100% on werewolves and werewolves.
Yes.
Which is, only what they deserve, the damn diddy dogs.
Hey, vampires are far worse.
We're cool.
You are not playing for the right team.
Cool. We wear black leather and
Team
smoke
Cullen. Team Cullen.
Team what?
Cullen.
Colon.
Cullen. C-U-L-L-E-N. Cullen.
Colon. I was like, Team Arse?
Oh, you know, like Edward Cullen.
That's a weird way to call me an arse.
Come on. Twilight Saga. God.
Yeah.
Oh,
which one of us feels off worse from knowing that, eh?
You.
No. No, I don't think so, somehow. And they finished the first campaigns, the 90-day campaigns that started when the game launched, have ended.
Oh, and who won
I got
ours?
20,000 from that, actually.
20,000 gold.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's because you're insane.
Do I have that waiting for me?
You probably do, yeah.
I don't know. And not everyone gets it. I think it depends on your contribution.
Because I know Rage didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
Troll
I
did.
logged into PvP like 3 times.
Troll got like 10,000. I got 20,000.
Was it based on rank or based on just how many points you had, or was it?
I don't know. I reckon it has to do with rank, but also how often I contributed.
Huh.
It was nice, though, finding that in my bank. I was like, ooh, is this for real? Could this be a gold seller? Am I getting involved in something that's going to get me kicked out of the game? It was like, no, you're being paranoid.
They've also formally stated that rewards from the Imperial Edition treasure maps downscale into the veteran ranks.
Which is
So if you open them before then, you've wasted them.
Yes.
No, just leave them.
Very cool.
But yeah, there's lots of stuff. They have adjusted loot drops across the board anyway, I had noticed. They tend to grant rewards more appropriate to your level from chest boxes and bosses and daily quest containers and things like that. I like, I know it wasn't this patch, but I like the fact that dolmens drop a chest now.
Okay.
So when you finish doing one of those anchors, their little chest appears.
Oh, okay.
You for your rewards and things like that. So you actually get something for doing those now.
Right.
It is quite good.
Just a warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
But unfortunately, you don't just get it if you just show up and you only contribute a little bit to the dolmen. I don't think you do, because I went in there a couple of times and we didn't get chests, and we came in like at the last level. So I don't know how true that is. I'm going to have to...
I know that to be categorically false.
Okay.
Because I've come in and hit the last dude once and got access to the chest.
Why am I not surprised?
Wow.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what this reminds? What I think people should take from Warhammer Online, because this reminds me of Public Quest somewhat.
Yeah.
I loved, and I wish it actually worked, and it didn't. They admitted it, but the rolling numbers like an odometer.
Yes.
That was the best. You'd sit there, you'd wait and wait and wait, and just the anticipation, and either you'd be cursing, or you'd be like, yeah, I just got a 999 or something. I think somebody should use that, because that was really cool.
That was fun.
And
if you missed out, it gave you a bonus.
You got bonus the next time. That was great. I mean, that whole concept was fantastic. I hope somebody else does that. But anyway,
that game had a lot of really good ideas. Some really bad ideas, but really good things.
Some fairly, if you look at it, yes, they did borrow some things, but they came up with some pretty innovative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Innovative. Anyway, ideas.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, I got a question for you. I'm kind of bummed. I was looking at one of the things, art and animation. Large bows will no longer clip into your head while you're crouched and stuff.
I know, it's not as cool now, is it?
Damn.
I liked having a
bow sticking out of your forehead.
lacquered wood jammed through the back of my head.
That's disappointing, isn't it? I mean,
sometimes these patches just don't really, they take a step back.
But I will say one thing about that patch, man. PvP has been messed up.
Oh. No.
They made a lot of changes to mechanics, but it's not the mechanics that's the problem, is it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
What is the problem, Jack?
The problem is the frame rate. I mean, it is. You should hear. It was so funny last night because I was PvPing and so many people were cursing.
Really?
Certain chat, they're like, "This beep 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 game. Oh my god, so much lag!" And I'm in zone going, lag. The lag is killing me.
So is it frame rate or is it lag? I'm sorry but isn't that a little different? Is it actual where you just?
It's the frame rate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's really bad. I mean, I started off on about 80 or 70, and then as soon as we got into combat, it went right down to 10. It was awful, absolutely awful.
10 FPS. If I'd had 10 FPS and I was doing PvP in SWOTOR, I'd have been laughing.
Oh, I know. But man,
I was in melee with 1 FPS or below because it doesn't go any lower than 1, and it really wasn't rendering that quick. Anyway.
So this really kind of I'm going to take 13 years ago, 12 years ago, I started playing Dark Age of Camelot.
Okay.
And there were hundreds of players. And I don't mean to exaggerate. There were hundreds of players in PvP back then. Now I know graphics were different, but machines were different. I mean, relatively, probably fairly similar in terms of what the power was and what was actually being shown on the screen. There was almost no lag, almost none, ever.
Yep.
And there was collision detection. So what on earth why have we gone backwards in some cases?
As Tepper was saying, I don't know if we really know, do we? We don't know what's caused the problem.
No, if I might hazard a only slightly more educated opinion on the reason that it might seem like we've gone backwards performance-wise.
Yeah.
So back in Dark Age Camelot days, there wasn't as much dynamic stuff happening.
Absolutely, yeah.
So these things called shaders, which handle your lighting effects and reflections, come a long way.
Yep.
So I think, and a couple of other people I've seen on the Elder Scrolls Online Reddit seem to think that it might be the lighting changes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether it's just something quite low down, like they're calling some routines more often that's causing issue, or actually because it's trying to calculate all the new lighting effects, because it seems to have affected all the dynamic lighting, including your spell effects.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, specifically the grand healing ability for the restoration staff seems to be causing a massive FPS drop on its own.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's to do with its effect as well. As does regeneration, but slightly less so. And they tend to be the healing spells tend to be quite, have some quite bright spell effects and things going on.
And when you have hundreds of people doing, well, not hundreds, you've got loads and loads of people doing it, it's bound to cause difficulties.
Why do you got to bring the whole education thing into this, Teppo?
Because I damn well got that degree and I'm going to use it at some point.
I was enjoying bitching. I was enjoying bitching about, and then he has to bring the whole, common sense and, all this other thing and, education and what. Just let me have my moment. Oh, well.
I did. I squashed it underfoot. Like the great British person I am. If I can't be happy, I'm not going to let you be happy.
Okay, fair enough.
That's very British of you. No, that's actually really hard.
Going to write a letter.
Going to write a letter to the Queen.
All right, anything else in 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3. Oh, you mean they
So
patched?
much. Not so much. I mean, they've rolled out a quick 1.2.4 patch.
Yes.
1.4.
Incremental, they call a hotfix, which was trying to address some issues, but hasn't.
No, it hasn't
Great.
at all.
Fantastic.
To be fair, it's addressed a couple of issues.
Like?
Yeah, but the big ones, like the stuff, still not really fixed.
Yes.
Weapon swapping with an equipped item set no longer breaks stealth. That's a good fix.
Yes, that's very good, actually. Especially when you're in stealth a lot in PvP.
Knocking back an enemy while they're in the air no longer causes them to die instant and full damage. Also a good fix.
No. Okay, yeah, that's probably
Bang!
And of
Physics
course,
About 6 miles.
they were meant to fix the Roost Mother, but didn't. Although I'm not sure if this.
Yeah, that was 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was so we were doing Volenfell, the three of us, and we're slightly under level. That's how awesome we are, by the way, listeners. We're three-man dungeons.
We're very good. We're professionals.
Yeah. Anyway,
wow.
so we got the Roost Mother in Volenfell. Was it Volenfell? No, it's the one after Volenfell. It's
Blackheart? Was it Blackheart? Something over there.
something Haven, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Water Haven or Blackwater Haven, something like that. It's the one in oh my
Bankerai.
gosh, Bankerai. There you go. It's quite late here, UK time. My memory's going. And we got to her, and apparently I didn't know it was bugged before. None of us knew it was bugged before,
So
but
funny.
apparently it used to be bugs, and they'd fixed it in 1.2.3. Anyway, they hadn't fixed it in 1.2.3. She was still bugging out, going invisible, being invulnerable, unhittable, this kind of stuff, and chasing us around the dungeon generally.
It was crazy. We TPK'd, what, 3 times or something?
Yeah, 3 or 4. It was rough, and then we decided to relog, and that fixed it.
It did, yes.
After we sent some snarky bug reports in.
In case you didn't know, this is
Your
not.
fix hasn't fixed anything.
Actually, you say that I put in a bug yesterday, and I felt kind of stupid doing it because obviously there were the problem, but just so you're aware, the FPS is really.
Wow.
I can't move at all, and it's really depressing. I want to play PvP.
You should go play part of the proper game, not the PvP
I do play
rubbish.
play the proper game with you. I don't want to spoil my
No,
fun.
you don't.
Yes,
never
I
do.
do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
All right.
I'm patting him on the head right now.
Really? I love that.
Here, picture. That sounded really creepy. Anyway,
Variety pack number 15. Ask us anything. Anything good out of that guy?
that's cool.
There was. Now, last time I read it was about 2 weeks ago when it came out.
Sure.
So,
right.
One of the big questions was from someone saying about here it is on the subject of PS4 and Xbox One. There is no doubt there will be features implemented in the PC game that it didn't originally launch with. Will these features be included with the console game at launch, or we have to wait even longer for them?
That was a good question.
That was a good question I hadn't even considered before. They come back and saying when it launches on the PS4 and Xbox One, it will have most, if not all, of the updates that they've released to the PC and Mac between now and then. Certainly, Craglorn will be in there at launch. They didn't mention anything specifically other than Craglorn. I presume they'll do quite a good job of trying to keep that content up to date. Otherwise, it'd be really difficult if they release content that, say, took us to veteran level 15, and then you leveled up your character on the PC version to veteran level 15, but the content in the console version that you were then going to switch that character to, and you went up to veteran level 12. That would be a problem.
Yes.
So I think they're going to, if you're insane enough to level up that quickly, I think they're going to try and keep it as close as possible.
Okay.
They've also been talking about grouping stuff, queuing for dungeons, level ranges, mentoring, that kind of stuff. Then they're going to bring in a match to the group leader levels.
Which is going to make dungeon running fun.
No.
You don't think?
No, it'll help, but not that much. I mean, you're still going to have one person who's the right level. What if you're all like 40, but none of you have run like the first couple of dungeons? What are you going to...
Well, then you're going to be poo.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They can't level down, It's a solved problem. A lot of games have had many different systems to deal with leveling up and down and all this kind of stuff. It should be in there, I think. But whatever. We'll see what comes of that. It is quite difficult if you're not quite matched with your friends or whatever, grouping up. There's a bit of a power disparity there. It's been working okay for myself and Jem because we have a set of characters that we only play with each other. Shut up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But if you have one main character and you only want to play that, you're easily going to end up with different levels with your friends and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, you really need to. That's the unfortunate thing, isn't it? You really need to stick with a character that you play with a set group of people if you want to continue. Yeah, if you want to stay at relatively the same level. Well, what are you going to do? Maybe that'll change. Who knows?
Who knows? Go ahead.
One other thing I just wanted to say, they did sort of tease other upcoming mount types.
Yes.
Like?
They didn't say.
They're not saying.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of a question about why can horses sprint indefinitely. You hold down the button, and they said, that's fine, you can do that. But the stamina protects you from being dismounted, and also if you keep tapping it, it'll give you a bigger boost of speed, but for a much higher cost. And it says, of note, only horse mounts have the endless sprint trait. Other upcoming mount types will have different special traits. I want to ride a dinosaur.
I want to ride a mammoth.
Go to Age of Conan.
I know.
I've got one.
Or that really cool zebra that's been introduced in WoW now.
No.
Sexy zebra unicorn. No, please don't bring in a sexy zebra unicorn because that would totally spoil the game for me.
Rule 34. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so then we got anything else on that bit there, number 15?
Nah, not particularly. I mean, there's a load of random questions in there.
I mean, there's a couple of things. Like, there's a mention again about the skill trees for the Thieves Guild quests and the Assassins Guild, which they're going to bring in eventually. Obviously, they're talking about bringing new skills. And they're also saying someone else was complaining. Well, not complaining, and I think it's a really good point. They were talking about how enchantment levels really slowly, and that they're going to... And their answer to that was that they're going to bring something in to almost level it with other crafting. Because as you know, as an enchanter, it's almost nigh impossible to level effectively. So there's some positive answers to the questions and some positive changes. So
good. Yeah. So this Adventurer's Handbook 3 and 4, not real long pieces. Anything exciting in there? It just seems like
the reason why I've thrown those up is because they link to other guides and things. So number 3 in particular has a good one that links to Tiny Thinker's Tips for Healers, which I think a lot more people could do with reading. In general, from what I've seen of people complaining about healing and stuff. And the rest of the world. Of course, the people that heal in our group are, pretty damn good.
Yeah, of course, but then we're really good. So, and, we don't expect anyone to be as good as us, so failure is a practice.
In number 4, there's a couple of really interesting ones. Guide to status effects.
Sinners.
Things like chilled, concussion, burning, and stuff, and fear, and exactly what they do, and stuff like that. That's quite useful. Considering it doesn't give you a lot of, there's not a massive sort of visual effect for a lot of these things.
Yes.
If you're being affected by them in game, it's useful to kind of know what they're about, what you can do with them. How to avoid dying in ESO.
I like the title.
Also pretty useful. More useful with some classes than others. It actually breaks it down into the classes and abilities that would be really useful to help you out there.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they're talking about the Sorcerer's Conjured Ward and a Dragonite's Obsidian Shield and things like that.
Yeah, they're quite good. But the key to a lot of staying alive and being healthy is having someone who's it's having a really good cook, because food is amazing in that game. I mean, you
excellent segue.
Need to use food.
Yeah, there's now a provisioning list as well. I have taught you well.
Yes, you have, Master.
Yeah, there's a master provisioning list. I'm like the guild's cook. So
He's very
I've been having great
good.
fun.
I mean, he made this amazing. I don't know what it was that you made us, but it was the purple item that gives us like max health, max stamina, and max magicka. It's absolutely amazing. I only use it for dungeons.
A purple tempo, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
I can't remember what it is. It's like jerk. Is it like mountain jerky or something like that?
Something like that. It's I think it's like level 30 stuff.
Mountain jerky.
It's consummate. Yeah, it is consummate mountain jerky, level 35. Yeah, max health, magic and stamina, 180 for 2 hours. Quite good. I haven't found much purple stuff above level 35, which is a shame.
Yeah,
because some of them are pretty awesome. I love the cooking stuff though. It's great.
It's very good, yeah.
It's annoying that the guild banks don't auto stack stuff, but they have finally fixed Jazzbay grapes.
Hooray!
Yeah, it looks like Jazzbay grapes were always supposed to be 2 different things. There's like Jazzbay and Sparkling Jazzbay or something like that. I can't remember what the other one was.
Interesting.
So now that they've actually put the proper name on the other one, it explains why you can't stack them all together.
Gotcha.
But all the ones we had have now been turned into normal Jazzbay grapes and all stack up nicely. That was really annoying when you had 2. You could never work out which one was going to stack how. Very irritating.
Good. So on the how to avoid dying subject, because I haven't played in a while, are you dying more often as you've gotten higher up? Because
no,
that wasn't it. Okay.
Not only overland stuff, not at all. But then there's 3 of us, and it's not really designed with 3 people in mind.
This is the thing. I mean, as we were saying, being really, without sounding a bit, I don't know, a bit conceited. One of the reasons why we decided to actually do a dungeon a couple of levels above us was because we actually were looking for challenges. Because with the 3 of us, we never get a challenge. We hardly have challenges. And one thing I would say, I know people are complaining, oh, there's not enough solo stuff, especially in Craglorn and stuff. But it would be nice to have more challenging things.
You know what was so odd about that? I remember in beta, and even at the very beginning of release, those first 10 levels, first few levels were easy, but there were some good challenges from levels 5 through 10.
Yep.
What happened? Well, I mean, really, that's a frustrating thing for me. Is I wish they would have scaled things up a bit and made things more difficult.
People reported that it was too difficult.
Oh, I hate
they nudged it down. Yeah.
This is the issue. And I mean, as I was saying, I think it was in either that question and answer that Tep put up or something else is, they're complaining, oh, well, I'm a solo player. I don't really want to be grouping with other people yet. I want to do the veteran stuff and stuff like that. It's just like, enjoy the challenge, for goodness sake.
Right. Well, if challenge wasn't a successful marketing ploy, how would Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 do as well as they do? I don't know why they back off so quick when people start complaining about challenge, because in my experiences, it only gets people to get more interested and want to defeat. I mean, because you want to defeat them. You want to be able to accomplish things that are difficult.
But I guess it depends upon the people, doesn't it? I mean, some people don't like being bashed into the ground endlessly, and that's fair enough because no one likes that. But I think there needs to almost be a balance as to what the challenge is. No one wants to just get their butt kicked every time they do something, yet.
But if it makes me better and I become a better player, I actually don't mind that. I honestly don't. If I feel, if I'm beaten to a pulp, my first thought is not why is the game beating me, but what the hell am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know, what do I need to do, or am I geared properly, or am my skills set up properly, or whatever else? You know, so
I absolutely agree with you, and I know that Teppa was saying this when we were doing dungeons, and because we joined up with one of our friends, Terrell. He ran a dungeon with us, and he was like, "Oh, let me look up how to beat this boss." And she's like, "Well, we don't do that when we do dungeons. Actually, we go in there, face the bosses, and then adjust our tactics accordingly. Because for us, that's more fun, and that's some fun and enjoyment in the game. You know, going in there and knowing exactly what I'm going to do. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You get stuck and TPK a couple of times there. By all means, go and have a look and see if you can't work that. See if someone has somewhere written down that this person has a stupidly awkward mechanic and whatever. But it's also not very rewarding if you just if there's no challenge.
Right.
Or it's not. I think a lot of people who want to be able to solo anything have not done something challenging like that in game for a while.
Yeah.
And they've forgotten what it's like.
Yeah.
The little buzz you get when you've just finally taken out that stupidly difficult boss or whatever it is.
Yeah, those little buzzes you got doing like raids, like 40-man raids and WoW and stuff. That's like old school. You just don't get it so much in new modern games.
I don't know. In WoW, finishing a raid in WoW is more like the relief of not having to talk to those stupid.
Well, yeah, of course, but you know what I mean. The challenge was always like running the dungeons. There's always that challenge there, and I think Teppo's absolutely right. I think it's just something that's been lost. It's almost as if we want everything to be really easy, but that's not fun. Easy, well, maybe for other people, but for me, easy's not fun.
In life, it's a very easy habit to get into.
It is.
You do it at work, you find your groove, and that's it. You don't push yourself.
Right.
But it's fine, because you're doing your thing. You're not too stressed out by it. You get to the end of the day, you pick up your paycheck, you go home, whatever.
Right.
But personally, I feel the enjoyment I get out of work or anything really, is just pushing the envelope just a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe just a little bit every day, just saying, you know what? I don't know how to do that, but I bet I could work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that, unfortunately, as well, as far as groups are concerned, I think that where our group is quite odd in the way it is, in the sense that we're actually quite a sociable group of people in many respects, and we like to group up with people and do things. But I think when a lot of people play these games, some people, I'm not saying everyone, but some people have problems socializing and getting in contact with people and doing things because they don't really want to, or they're shy or something like that. And I think going out there and meeting a group of people, of like-minded people who are good at doing these things, is enjoyable as well. I mean, I think as far as running dungeons and stuff like that, you want to be in a group of people that you know. I mean, I know when I'm in a group with Teppo and Solo, I know exactly what they're going to do. I know that they've got my back. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. Do you know what I mean? And that's quite a nice...
We're going to blame each other.
And we can blame each other.
And each demand that we're both correct.
Exactly, but that's fine. And that's that's nice. It's nice to have that kind of group cohesion. And I think when people don't do a lot of the group stuff, or people do pugs and stuff like that, you just don't get the same...
I'm sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
Do you know, I this is just a quick social commentary. I think of you talking about people who don't think they want to play with others, or they feel awkward, or they're they get anxious or whatever else, and they don't think that they like playing with others. And I equate it a little bit to people that say they don't like to speak in front of people. I don't find, other than maybe Teppo, I find very few people that look forward to that moment. Everybody has those anxious or nervous. There's no one that probably, very few, other than Teppo.
Me, thank you.
No, sorry, okay.
Thank you.
That really...
we are the few.
Yes. that joining a group is actually something that they get initially excited about. But what happens to a lot of people, including I know members of my own family, when they actually do get involved in a group or a social activity in real life or in a game, all of a sudden things are fun and they're enjoying themselves. It might not be, I don't know, everything's perfect or anything, but it sure is. I think too often the excuse is, I don't like playing with other people because this, that, or the other thing. Until they get with a group, they actually go out there and try it. And I think oftentimes people actually enjoy it. They may not admit it, but I think they enjoy it. I think we're built.
I do agree. Yeah.
We're all social creatures.
Yeah.
Deep down, some of us, feel differently and differently at different times of our life.
Sure.
I used to play MMOs mostly solo.
Yep.
And didn't like talking on the phone, let alone talking on voice chat or, heaven forbid, on a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
But that was I've been podcasting for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm going the other way. I used to be incredibly sociable and love to talk to people and love to chat and love to this, love to group, and now I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, but the more I let you go out and socialize with people, the less time you spend playing games and podcasts.
I know, this is stop. I've got to stop. I've got to stop socializing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be fair, I enjoy my game life. I enjoy my online friends. I don't want to say I enjoy them more. That's wrong. But you know what I mean? I enjoyed my online time. And it's something that I think also when we're talking about socialization in games, it's always good to think of these games as well, or have a set night where you meet friends and do something like that. So it's actually one of your hobbies that you're doing, and because in a way, it's no different than me going over to a friend's house and playing a board game than is playing online with a group of friends. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do. And I think, I think that anxiety needs to not be confused with whether you like something or not, that initial anxiety. Because I think if you remember back to the moments that you are actually with groups, for me at least, podcasting, games, whatever, for the most part, I'm actually enjoying myself. But the build up to it, I don't like a lot of times when I don't know the people. So anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, it's good. No. And tell us what you think, listeners.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's been a while since we've heard from people because it's been a while since we've actually said anything.
Yeah, gosh. What's wrong with you guys? We've not...
I've been yelling. No one's been listening.
This is we've not done a podcast for 8 weeks. We don't hear from you guys. You don't write. You don't call.
Hey, those listeners have been talking to us on our Facebook page.
I really have. I have to make. I do for our listeners. I'm so sorry. But I forgot my password to that Facebook.
Did you not save it in last time?
I did, but then I had to reformat my drive and had to reinstall my computer, and all that stuff is gone. So I'm really sorry, guys. That's why I haven't been on, but I'll sort that out this week.
Well,
that's my mini confession corner.
I see Tempo's last post on there. I'm still okay. I just haven't been active in anything. But the advantage that we have is that the podcast, like I had talked about in the very first pilot, are going to continue to fall off because people are, MMOers, unfortunately, are short term these days in terms of their attention span. And we're here. Yeah. And if you want to continue having a source of information on ESO, or just like our personalities because we're so wonderful, we will continue.
And do you count how many times we said we're so wonderful throughout this podcast? Because I know it's been over 50.
We'll continue to have these podcasts bi-weekly. And there is something you can do to encourage us to continue. There is within MMO Reporter, my knowledge of this is fairly limited, so I may ask you guys to help me with this, but we have set up a system on Patreon. Yeah, go ahead, Tap. Take over from me.
Yeah, so Patreon's it's a pretty cool funding system, if you like. What you do is you go over to patreon.com/MMO Reporter. So it's for the network as a whole, not just specifically for us, because, we're all a big team here and we wouldn't work without either, all of us working together. And what you can do is you donate money per month. So you say, I'll give you, as much as little as you like, from, a couple of cents to however much you like. I think the default it puts in the box is $1 per month. And you become a patron, and sort of at the end of every month, I think it is, you just automatically donate. And then when we reach certain milestone goals, certain things happen. I think the first one is $500 per month is the first milestone. We may add more sometime, I don't know. Depends what Chris wants to do. But the first one is remove ads from our audio and video content as well as from MMOreporter.com.
Which would be grand.
But this all goes towards supporting, our costs, our hosting costs, and also paying hosts and the support staff we have for the site for their time, because at the moment we're all volunteers. We do it for the love of it rather than
the money,
anything else.
And to be fair, guys, we're not talking about £500 a month from one person, unless of course you've got loads of spare cash lying around somewhere and you want to donate it to our cause. But £1.
Yeah. Well, the site's in dollars.
Exactly. All right. Sorry.
If every
so it's even a better deal. Less than £1.
Yeah.
Less than £1.
Yeah, £1 would be great. It's almost $2.
Like 56p.
If every listener gave us $1 a month, that's like 1/5 of a Starbucks coffee.
Oh, Starbucks.
Then that would make a huge impact to the site and to us in general, and being able to continue to give you the awesome shows that we do.
Well, and I can't speak for you guys because I haven't talked to you guys about this, but what I will put out there, even though it's not on the site, is if you pledge $5 or more per month, and we can verify that. Hey, you know what? You can run a dungeon with me and anyone else who's interested. But you could definitely run a dungeon with me. Not that it's going to be fun, but we'll sit and we'll get on, whatever kind of communication, Skype or whatever it might be, and I'll run a dungeon with you. If Teppo and Jen want to join, that's up to them. But I will personally go ahead and run one of the ESO dungeons with you. Probably the beginning one because I suck. But anyway,
we'll run the later ones with you because we're awesome.
Yeah, not that that's worth $5 a month, but if you find in your heart, that's on top of all the awards you get with the site. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out. So you're always invited to our guild if you're interested. We have a few listeners already in there, and I don't know if you guys have been playing much with them at all.
And sadly, not been playing with them so much. I talk quite regularly with one of our listeners in there, Trish. Who's pretty awesome and still hanging on in there.
Yeah, great.
Way to go, Trish.
Socks. Because we've been. You know what? Life is hard, and I'm down to one solid day of gaming a week, and it hurts me deep inside.
Me too.
Yeah. The one thing I thought to say, there's individual sort of rewards for pledging different amounts as well. And $1 is sort of a thank you tweet and a follow from the MMO Reporter Twitter, but it goes down to things like thank yous on the podcasts or a random piece of swag from the MMO Reporter closet while stocks last. That's when you hit if you go for $25 per month or more.
Yep.
And things like that. I think. Pledge $100 or more per month, all of the rewards listed above, and there's a few, plus a monthly Skype/Google Hangout with all the other $100 pledges and 3 MMO Reporter Network hosts.
Oh, that's all right.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So mine's a bargain. You get to play a dungeon.
Yours is a bargain.
You get to play with him. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a bit more expensive, obviously. I can't sell myself for $5, but
yeah.
And Teppo is like way up there. He's like far beyond me.
Jeez, so, Teppo's cheap. I know Teppo.
Cheap and easy. But only to you, darling. Cool.
I'll tell you what, for $5 pledge, I'll let you listen to me curse in PvP, because boy, do I curse a lot.
Choice.
She's foul-mouthed. Anyway, I think that's straying towards something kind of neat.
I think so. Let's leave that and move on.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, anything else, guys, off the top of your heads, news-wise or otherwise?
Not particularly, other than the fact that Speaks in Third Person is my new favourite person on Reddit.
Oh, he's awesome. Is it he or is she?
I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. But they speak like Kaji, and they actually make some really salient points in the Elder Scrolls Online Reddit. So Talks in Third Person is a giggle. I'll throw a couple of links to some of their posts and one of their pieces of poetry in the show notes.
Yeah, this is right up your alley there, Sven.
I have just started reading it, but I will take time after our podcast and finish it up.
And don't forget about that add-on. I think I mentioned ages ago. I don't know if it's still there, but it's kind of a role-play one where everyone talks to you. You answer questions in Khajiit speak. I don't know how well that's working, but you should give it a crack.
Great.
This one would like to do that dungeon. This one will only do it for 500 gold.
Good stuff.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys.
Let's go through quick the contact information in case you want to get a hold of us or complain that 8 weeks between a podcast is too long. You can get a hold of us.
Or if it's not long enough.
I've never had that complaint.
Oh, yes.
Skirting the line of family friendly. It's Teppo.
Our email is at eso@mmoreporter.com. Our general Twitter is at ESO Reporter. Then I can be found at SvenIM, 2 V's.
Not 2 N's.
Not 2 N's, right. And I will now actually check my Twitter, and sorry about being a bit. And now, also at Gennara, if you feel like speaking with the effervescent one, and at Tepotastic, if you have a brain
Aneurysms.
I was thinking.
I can't stay off Twitter, so if you tweet me, I'll guarantee to answer.
He
If
will
you
answer
tweet
you.
me something that sounds like spam, though, I've got a really itchy spam finger. So,
Because I actually stalk Teppo on his Twitter. If you respond to him, I'll respond to you.
yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how she gets all her followers. Just like some kind of limpet feeding off my list.
Like a horrible parasite.
Oh, I've got a vision. That's really interesting.
The lamprey mouse.
Oh, that should be
gosh.
one of our listeners who has a skill with drawing should draw that. That's very good. Sorry.
No.
Facebook, yes, they should. Facebook.com/ESO reporter, and me and Tep will be watching that because Jen forgot her password. And then finally,
Hey, no. I'll work that out. I'll sort that out this week.
someone want to do the voicemail,
I'll
please?
do it. Me.
Okay.
Okay. I love it. Whoever did this. Voicemail at 616-333 times 2. For those people that don't know maths, that's 666. 6778.
So that's 616-666-6778. Yeah.
Or you can click the widget on the right-hand side of MMOreporter.com.
Yay! All right, well, that wraps it up. What a wonderful way to get back, guys.
It was good, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for being patient with me through about 6 or 7 weeks, or 8 weeks, whatever it's been. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Enjoy this podcast over your 4th of July weekend. Go USA! Oh, sorry. And
I want my bloody tea back.
Or not to mention, if you're in England, then the 4th of July as
Thursday.
Freedom from America Day.
No, I want it back. Those natural resources would be so useful against the French. It was the French's fault as well. Anyway, I will go off on one.
Yes, let's not talk about
Good
that.
night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Night.
This podcast is also sponsored by Audible. And if you go to audibletrial.com/MMO reporter, you'll get a 1-month free trial, which includes all the usual member benefits, including 1 free audiobook download per month and a 30% discount on additional purchases, as well as free digital subscription to New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. You can keep anything that you download during the free month forever. So what's stopping you, really? Sign up at audibletrial.com/MMO reporter.